Hey dreamers, welcome back to your Dream Coach podcast. I'm Shayla Wey. I'm a small business coach, growth strategist, and believer that your dream life starts the moment that you lead like you mean it. This podcast is all about leadership, fulfillment, and growth. And today we're talking about something that changed everything for me and my clients, and that's how to scale with systems, not just hustle. So if you've ever felt like you're working harder than ever before, but not seeing the growth that you want, this episode is for you. Because hustle alone can only take you so far. And what I've found is that without systems, your growth will hit a ceiling every single time. So this episode is especially close to my heart because I've lived both extremes. I've had the 16-hour days, the burnout, the chasing it of just one more level of success. And I've also had the version of business where things felt aligned. They felt light, scalable, sustainable. And that came through systems. So as always, I'll speak from what I've learned, not what you should do, but what's worked in the trenches of small business, ownership, leadership, and personal growth. And before we jump in, if you haven't already, come join us inside the LFG Business Academy on School. It's totally free. Inside, you'll get access to my mini leadership series, templates, tools, and community support to help you build your business with structure, not stress. And you can find the link in the show notes or DM me at Shayla Wey Coaching. So let's dive in. Let's start with systems and how they create space for leadership. What I've learned is that most small business owners are stuck in the business because they don't have systems that allow them to lead the business. So if you're answering every question, you're chasing every task and holding every piece together with duct tape, there's no room to cast vision or build a team. So systems free you up to lead like a CEO, not just work like an employee. And this is something that I've learned now. And what I help people with is even if we're not there yet, think as if you already have a team, as if you're already at that next level, because it will start to force you to think of what does a system look like and what will change when you start adding team members. If you're currently leading a team, is even looking at it from the angle of what is on my plate that needs to come off, or what do I need to systemize? So if an employee did quit or something did happen and there was shifts in the business and the leadership team, is do we have those systems ready to go for the next person to step in? Now, consistency is also a big key because consistency builds trust and, of course, revenue. So you don't need to be perfect, but you do need to be consistent. So systems allow you to deliver a consistent experience for clients, team members, and your audience. So from onboarding to content to client follow-ups, every single action that happens in a business, when things are systemized, nothing falls through the cracks. And when people trust that you deliver, guess what? They refer, they rebook, and they stay loyal to you. So that's not only with clients, but that's also with people within your team as well. And within your business is that when we have a system, again, I've shared this before, but your level of success will always rise and fall to the level of your system. So when we have something in place, that builds that consistency, which creates trust. And of course, that's going to create more revenue and more of it. Your energy is a finite resource. And I used to believe that I could outwork anything. But what I found is that hustle eventually does hit a wall. Your energy, your time, your creativity does have limits. Systems multiply your energy. They allow you to automate the things that need to be repeated. They allow you to delegate the routine. And ultimately, they're going to preserve your energy for high impact work, whether that's working with clients, maybe it's selling, it's creating, it's leading. And this is how you stay in your zone of genius without burning out. Systems are going to help turn chaos into clarity. So when everything lives in your head, or worse, your inbox, your business feels like chaos. But when you build repeatable processes, project boards, even templates, SOPs, suddenly things become clear. You know now what needs to happen, when and by whom, and your team feels more confident. You start to feel more grounded. And what I've learned is that clarity is one of the most underrated forms of fulfillment as a leader and as a business owner. And freedom comes from structure. So we often resist systems because we think they'll feel rigid, feels like we're maybe micromanaging. But what I've learned is that the structure actually creates freedom. It actually creates confidence. And when you have clear systems in place, You're not constantly making decisions from scratch. You save time, reduce overwhelm, and you have the freedom to take a day off or take that trip you've been putting off. So freedom isn't the absence of structure. It's what happens when the right systems are running in the background. So thinking of your business and your leadership team is what has to happen for the business to be moving forward with or without you. Or if you're leading a team, what does that look like? Maybe you're part of a team. Is what even just has to happen in your role to make sure that everything is moving forward for your role specifically. And scaling does require you to let go. So here's the tough truth. If you're the only one that knows how everything works, you can't scale. But what I found is that systems are what allow you to let go without falling apart. So they give your team the tools they need to succeed, and they give you the confidence to delegate without micromanaging. So it's how you go from controlling everything to leading a team that owns it. And growth doesn't come from doing more. It comes from doing better. So I have coached so many entrepreneurs, business owners, leaders that think the next level comes from more offers or more hours or more content, more products. But it's often not always about doing more. It's about doing better, having better systems, having better communication, having better onboarding, better follow-up, following through with communication. So what I found is that refining your systems, your backend, your workflows, your processes can double your income, double your business without having to double your hours. And you can't measure what you don't track. So if you want to grow your business, you need data. You need visibility. You need to know what's working and what's not working. So systems create that visibility. So whether it's a simple KPI dashboard, so key performance indicators, maybe it's a lead tracker or a content calendar, you just can't scale with what you see. Yeah, you can't scale if you can't see the data. Then we make decisions based on feelings. So as a leader, your clarity creates clarity for everyone around you. And fulfillment comes from simplicity. So when your business is clunky, you feel it. When things are overcomplicated, your fulfillment drops. But what I found is that simplifying your systems, your offers, your client experiences, your internal operations just leads to more joy, more energy, more creativity. You start to love your business again, not just survive it. And let's be real, nobody starts a business to feel trapped in it. And legacy is going to be built on repeatability. And here's the big one is if you want to create something that lasts, you need systems that outlive your hustle. Legacy isn't built on how hard you work today. It's built on how well things can run without you. Systems are what allow your business to scale, sell, or be passed on. So if your dream is to build something bigger than you, you need systems that can support that vision. So whether you're just starting to build your first SOP or you're knee deep in streaming your operations, know this is systems are not the enemy of creativity. They're the foundation of sustainability. And that's what will turn hustle into harmony, chaos into clarity, and vision into reality. And if you need support building those systems, the kind that aligns with your leadership style, your values, and your growth goals, well, I've got something for you. You can come join us inside the LFG Business Academy on School. It's totally free. You'll get my instant access to my mini leadership series, practical resources, and a growing community of purpose-driven business owners who are scaling with intention. Now, the link is in the show notes, or you can just shoot me a DM at Shayla Wey Coaching, and I'll send you the invite personally. But thanks for listening today. I'm grateful that you're here, you're doing the work, not just to grow your business, but to grow yourself. Because your dream life starts with the way you lead, the way you live, and the way you grow. I'm Shayla Wey, and I'll see you next time on your Dream Coach podcast.